right, this could segue easily into a battle rap conversation, but since we were on the topic of misconceptions, I saw this Suge Knight documentary, and you know, growing up on the East Coast in Brooklyn, especially being from Brooklyn, there was a certain image that he had from a distance.
Right.
You know what I mean? You were signed to Deathrow.
Absolutely.
So there's got to be a lot of information within that. Because me from on the outside, when I started kind of getting, you know, popping with the battles and all that, I started dropping music videos too. There was a video I dropped called "Only God Could Judge Me," and Suge reached out to my manager at the time.
Oh shit!
And I heard about it. Half of me was excited.
Yeah.
The other half was like, nah, that's Suge. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know the words going on around that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know how to feel about it. But after watching this documentary, there were a lot of things that I saw within it that I understood. And I was like, okay, they had me fooled on this one.
Like what? What
like, exactly what Suge Knight stood for. His relationship with Pac. There was a lot of things on the outside.
Right.
Like you hear these rumors, oh, Suge got Tupac killed.
Yeah, that type
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suge, and you don't think about it because there's so many people saying it.
Right.
But like, he said something in the documentary. He was like, "What type of motherfucker get his man killed and then say shoot me in the head to make it look believable?" You know what he said? And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Make it look real.
Right, exactly. So, you being that you were signed to Deathrow, what are the misconceptions of Suge Knight that you knew when you heard all the shit that was going around that you knew wasn't what it was?
I saw a good side of Suge, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember a nursery burnt down in the hood.
Right.
And he, right away, went and got it fixed and, you know, redone and all that kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? I remember he used to, on Father's Day, he used to charter a bus and take all the kids who had fathers that were incarcerated and they couldn't see their kids, you know what I'm saying? So he would bus all the kids up to go see their fathers on Father's Day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I remember, you know, everybody know he had the Mother's Day dinners and, you know what I'm saying? When we, on Christmas, we used to go get a U-Haul and buy like $50,000 worth of toys and go to the sick ward in the children's hospital, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And get out and give all the kids toys, you know what I'm saying? Like good shit.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
But this is shit that you never hear.
Yeah, he had a charitable heart.
Right.
That people don't talk about. You know what I mean? And I asked him one time, I said, why you don't ever talk about this kind of shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being the new guy on the label, I wanted to talk about it. And he was like, man, you know, let him talk. He's like, I know what I do. I ain't tripping.
Right.
So it's like, I feel you, you know what I'm saying? It ain't, you don't really want to publicize your charitable acts all the time. I get that, you know what I'm saying?
But do you feel like that was a flaw, being that everything else
was out there?
Anything else anybody could conjure up in their mind was being launched out there?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you know, he also benefited off of his image.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know. He probably had to weigh it out on himself, but I think if some of those things were out there, it'd be a different story. We'd be talking about some different shit right now. You know what I'm saying? They might have had.
So he personally told you, like, I don't want this stuff spoken about like that?
No, he didn't tell me not to speak about it because I did. I spoke on it on a song called Still the Row for Eddie Griffin's soundtrack. It was called Dysfunctional Family. You know what I'm saying? I helped produce that soundtrack, and I spoke on it on the first single. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't tripping on that information being out there, but he wasn't trying to make an effort to show people his good side. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, let them think what they want to think. But my idea was if they saw that type of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe they would.
Maybe they'll, you know what I mean? Try to understand who you are as a whole, not just one side that they perceive, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
What when you got signed to Deathrow, was this on like the tail end of Snoop leaving, or was it before?
It was the tail end, so it was the end really. Pac passed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Snoop left. Suge was locked up. He was doing time in Mule Creek, Ione, California. And it was 99. You know what I'm saying? And I went up there to go see him in the penitentiary and shit. And I would go visit him. And that's how we kind of got our first relationship started with each other business-wise, was, you know, me visiting him up there, you know what I mean? And busting down what I wanted to do with my career and what he could do for me.
Right.
And, you know.
Right.
And he was in there for like 2 years while I was on the label, you know what I mean? And he got out like 2 years after I signed. So I had already had hella music made. I had albums, mixtapes. I was doing all kind of shit. And then he came out and took the shit to another level, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, everybody was gone. It was on my shoulders. Corrupt came back for a minute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then Corrupt bounced out.
Well, what was that over?
You know what? I'm not really sure. I know that he came over there for a minute when Suge got out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that no matter what goes on in the media, I think that deep down a lot of people who left that label, even if they had some sort of negative vibes, they know Suge tried to fucking help them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Deep down, you know, this dude tried to help me. You know what I mean?
Because black ownership was what he was pushing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And niggas was cashing those checks at the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They wasn't giving the checks back. You know, they was putting the money in the pocket, feeding the family, paying bills, doing all that shit.
Right.
And, you know, it all came from the row. So I think that's one thing that drove Corrupt to come back. But, you know, and plus he probably just wanted to fuck around with his homie for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He fresh out, you know what I mean? Been
Right.
away for 6 years.
Right.
Let's make some music. Let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he came over there and Suge gave him an executive role. And, you know, he made some music and then he departed. And,
I think I remember seeing that in The Source.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was over there for a minute. You know, then we did the Double XL magazine cover. It was me, Corrupt, Eastwood, Left Eye, rest in peace, because she came over to the label.
Right.
As Nina, you know, releasing rap songs under the name Nina.
Nina.
And, you know, it was a wild time, man. But
whatever happened to those records?
Some of them on YouTube and very, you know, secret places where, you know, 2 views, 3 views, nobody knows this. They don't even know. Yeah, you know, I got like 3 records on YouTube with her. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
From those days.
You
know
ever
what I'm
thought
saying?
of just taking those records and doing them over?
Yeah, I have. Because Lisa was special.
Yeah.
You know, she brought Dr. Sabi to the office. You know what I mean? Introduced us all to him. She was bringing a whole nother energy. I always say that. She brings a different energy to the label. She was balancing it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of dark times over there. So she was like the light.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she'll come through and, Dr. Sabi, what's up with y'all health? Y'all got to get y'all shit right. You know what I mean?
Eating,
with y'all, yeah. You know what I mean?
Did she have you switch up? Was you doing
yeah.
Impossible Burgers for a little bit?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, for real. Because I
with
mean,
the lettuce wrap.
Yeah, because Sabi said, hey, he did a front flip. He was old as shit. He just did a front flip right in the office. Doo-doo. The niggas was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah. He's like, because I take care of myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, all right, OG shit, what's the program? And he was like, yo, this, telling us about, you know, balancing your acid in your body and all this type of shit. Your alkaline, man. And I was like, all right, cool, let's get it. Right. But I always been open to that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? My mom had Black Panthers around the crib when I was a kid and shit like that. So that I've always been open to alternative information that ain't mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, at least willing to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
You think because you know there's a lot of rumors and stuff. Let's address a couple rumors. You think Suge had anything to do with Biggie or Tupac's death?
Hell nah. I mean, listen, man. Like you said, you riding in the car with somebody, you know what I'm saying, and motherfuckers start shooting. You told them, yo, shoot him while I'm in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Side, right?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's what I want you to do. And I think that's easy to believe for people who have never been in a car that has been shot at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you ever been in a car that been shot at, you know good and fucking well that you trying to find every piece of the floor you can, every piece of the floor.
Exactly.
You're trying to get low as you can possibly fucking get. You ain't got no time. You don't know them bullets is ricocheting around that motherfucker.
They taking different angles once they hit that door. Like, you don't know how that's going to go. You can't be no marksman and thoroughly plan out where a bullet is going to go when it goes through a car, car door.
So to me, that has always been ridiculous.
Right.
But I understand why certain people probably fell for it because they had a strong hatred for him, and they never been in a car that got blasted up. So I already knew that. But when it comes to the Biggie thing, you know, what year was that? That was 97.
96, 97.
96, 97, right?
Yeah.
So, see, that I wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? 96, 97. I was still on the east side with Big C Style. We was doing 19th Street Records. I would come around every now and then, hit some studio sessions, but I wasn't around, you know what I'm saying? But I don't believe it from because Suge thought Biggie was dope too.
Right.
That's what people don't know.
Yeah, the funny thing, what I learned in the documentary is that Suge and Puff used to hang out.
Yeah.
Like they, you know, Suge used to, you know, Puff would come to L.A., he'd be riding around with Suge.
Right.
Suge would be playing new Tupac records. Suge would go to New York, he's riding around with Puff, he's playing new Biggie records.
Now imagine if that stayed that way.
Yeah.
Where would we be?
What would that be like?
That's crazy.
What do you think? Where do you think it went wrong?
Man, I don't know. Can moguls get along for a long time, man?
I think, well, I don't know. I don't know. You've been around enough of them that you worry, because right now we got the other situation going. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah,
I think Jay and Puff get along.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think Russell said it best, man. It was a time where being that powerful in hip hop, Suge and Puff, that was still new.
Right.
You know what I mean? For black executives in hip hop to be on, you know, hundreds and hundreds of millions of
and
dollars.
everybody was young.
Everybody was young, and that was a relatively new thing. And I think Russell said it best when he said, you know, I was the OG, but I didn't know I was the OG. I didn't play the OG role.
Right.
I didn't say, hey, Suge, hey, Puff. Man, let's fly out together, man. Let's sit down and let's chop this up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he, at the time, he might have been the only dude that could have done that in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And he said he regretted it. And I felt him on that, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot was lost. Too much was lost.
Yeah.
When I think about how young Biggie was, dog, I say, man.
And Pac.
He has so much more to give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it should have taught us so much. And I don't know if it did.
I think the lesson that I feel like came out of that was that, and I hate to say it, but dead rappers get better promotion.
Oh yeah, now we learned that for real.
So I'm you know that I've had conversations with, you know, conspiracy theorists and all that shit.
Right.
And I recently had an hour-long conversation with somebody I was trying to talk into doing the Legends Only. Mm-hmm. And this person was so paranoid because they got like 3,000 records, but they not really in the limelight anymore. Mm-hmm. And I meet a motherfucker somewhere living in a bubble because he feel like he's worth more dead than alive.
Wow. I can see that. When shit start getting hot on Deathrow, and niggas was, you know what I'm saying, coming for me. Mm-hmm. I had insurance. And a lot of you young rappers out there, y'all need to understand this. They got something called key man insurance.
Key man.
Because you're the key man at this operation. So if you go down, they going to get millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, there was a time.
Is that standard?
I believe that's standard now, but they don't talk about it to the artists. Now, a good lawyer, he know what's happening. He gonna go in there and situate you.
Right.
But I think the artist should know it going in. So when they do get an attorney or they do negotiate deals, make sure that you understand everything that's in that paper, because if you the key man and if they got a couple $1 million life insurance policy on you and 1,000 records unreleased, yeah, it could happen.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It could happen.
What's that policy like? Like, what's the turnaround on it?
I don't know, man. All I know is I found out about it and I was like, yo, y'all gotta get this shit off me.
You feel like it's a bag on your head all of a sudden. Like, motherfuckers in the office like, yo, we'll save the company if something
You know what I'm
happens.
saying? Because I'm like, man, what is this? But
Wow.
it just opened my mind, though, because I was in a similar situation. I had a lot of music, you know what I'm saying, over there. And, you know, it was a lot of enemies to the label.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't playing like rap music shit. They was playing motherfucking street shit, real street shit. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that same feeling. Whoever your man is, I felt that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they could just take me out. They got 4 or 5 albums. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying?
This shit go platinum the next day.
Next day. Yeah, everybody singing songs and lighting candles.
You think it's possible that could be something like the actual plan that some people have, some label owners or some executives behind closed doors? You know how they like to talk about, you know, this shit ran by people who do this and do that.
Yeah.
You think that's actually something that could be possible?
Man, they been killing niggas since the 60s on music. You know what I'm saying? Niggas mysteriously coming up dead, or writers and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hey, man.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy to think about.
I mean, we look at rap music like we doing something new.
Right.
We not.
Nah, we not. We not. Nah,